So good morning, everyone. Welcome to this EWA webinar on the Urban Wastewater Treatment Directive implementation challenges and opportunity. We'll start shortly. We have still some people joining us. Therefore, I ask you for 1 or 2 minutes of understanding. Please. Still 1 minute. We still have people joining. We still have people joining. 1 minute and then start. So we will start today with our event and on Urban Wastewater Treatment Directive implementation challenges and opportunity. We will start now. Just bear with me. I have a really short presentation about EWA. We'll present the house rules and then directly go towards the core discussion for today and why I'm assuming everyone is here, which is a discussion with our speakers. So the European Water Association, we are an independent, non-governmental and non-profit organization dealing with the management and improvement of the water environment. So we have members from nearly all European countries, national members. So I would like today also to thank our Romanian national member, Ara, who helped us in organizing today's event by providing speakers' name and contact such as Chaba today. So thank you very much. We have corporate members, so Xylem, sponsor for this webinar. Thank you again for this and making it possible to make it free of charge for everyone. But we also had our Greek colleague from, I just lost the name, of course, great, for the water utilities in Athens, I'm sorry, that also provided Ioannis contact then. So thank you very much. And research members. So we aim with this wide range of participants to basically provide or be a platform for discussion of key technical and policy issues in Europe. And in order to do so, we have internal working group, but we also arrange events such as conference, workshop, and for experts to exchange on their knowledge. And based on this, we thought what is a big topic at the moment, of course, is the Urban Wastewater Treatment Directive implementation, and that we decided together with some members and to have a look at what's happening in Greece and in Romania regarding the text. So just a quick information, please use the chat box for interaction between you and or for general comments, but please use the Q&A box in order to submit your question to the panelists via this button. And please also state at the beginning for whom the question is addressed to. Please we cannot respond to raise your hands as all of you as participants are muted and cannot activate your mic and camera. Therefore, please really use the Q&A function. And note that this recording, this webinar is being recorded. So wrong button. So I will stop sharing my screen now. We will start already with our roundtable, but ahead of it, we'll have a short speakers introduction. So we are really glad to have with us today. So we have Mr. Csaba Bauer, manager of the wastewater division of Aquaserve SA in Târgu Mureș in Romania. So you are a water treatment manager, operation of drinking water plant and wastewater treatment plant for the company Aquaserve SA, which is a regional operator for public water and sewage services. So thank you for joining us, Csaba.
Thank you too.
I have with you Dr. Ioannis Madilaras from Italia Wastewater Treatment Plant in Greece. So you are mechanical engineers with 25 years of experience in control system, automation, energy management, and wastewater treatment. And you are currently working on the Italia Wastewater Treatment Plant in Athens, Greece, which is one of the largest wastewater treatment facilities in Europe operated by EWA. PSA, which is our new members from Greece. So you have professional focus, which includes sludge management, anaerobic digestion, thermal hydrolysis, CHP optimization, energy performance monitoring, and the strategic transition of large wastewater infrastructure towards circularity and energy neutrality. And I think we already touched a bit some of the points that you will be sharing with us.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the introduction. Good morning to all of you.
Last but not least, we have Tanya Pencheva, Europe's Government and Industry Relation at Xylem. So Tanya, you are leading Europe Government and Industry Relation at Xylem. Prior to joining Xylem, you had been providing strategic EU government relation advice to companies and trade associations at leading consultancy firm in Brussels, and you began your career working for a major political group at the European Parliament and for an environmental NGO. And you are also a really, really active member of the European Water Association. So we will start with this. We will start. So we are missing one speaker, but we will start nonetheless. Let's see if they will come. So first of all, if I forgot something, I would like to let each of you to have 2 minutes to have a short introduction and for the first opening word. So Csaba, I think we can start with you.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. As Arthur mentioned, I work for a public utility company, for a water company for more than 35 years. I am involved in wastewater treatment. And what I would like to tell you that the company operates in the Mureș County. This is the central part of Romania. We have about 300,000 people served by with water and wastewater services. Also, more than 5,000 industries and institutions. And I do have more than 700 colleagues which are doing this job. We are covering with our operations 125 settlements, cities, villages, and so on. And as you probably know, regional water operators has two main roles in Romania. They are responsible for operation of the water and wastewater infrastructure. But in the same time, they are the locomotive, the main power of the infrastructure development, using especially EU funds. So having this, we are involved in, and because we are discussing about wastewater treatment, we are in a continuous development regarding our infrastructure, started with the mid of the 90s. But after Romania joined the EU, this process was highly accelerated because the funds which were coming from EU. Mainly, this is it. Oh, of course, 10 water treatment plants in our operations. The biggest one has a capacity of more than 50,000 cubic meters per day. The smallest one produces just 300 per day. And also we operate 11 wastewater treatment plants. The biggest one is in the capital city of the Mureș County, which is Târgu Mureș, 150,000 population equivalent. I cannot compete with Ioannis, who has one of the biggest wastewater treatment plant in Europe, but this is our plant. I like it very much. And of course, we have 1,500 kilometers of water network and almost the same length of sewage system. But if you want to have some more information about us, you can access our web page, which is available also in English, and you can have more. But to see who we are, what are we doing, I think it will be okay. Is it okay?
Perfect. Thank you very much. Ioannis?
Okay, good morning, everybody. My name is Ioannis Mandilaras. and I am the head of the Psyttalia Wastewater Treatment Plant in Athens, which is operated by EDAP, the Athens Water and Sewerage Company. Psyttalia, as already my colleague here said, Psyttalia is one of the largest wastewater treatment plants in Europe, serving the metropolitan area of Athens with a design capacity of about 5.6 million population equivalent. Today, the plant treats on average around 680 cubic meters of wastewater per day, and includes primary and secondary biological treatment with advanced nitrogen removal. Through anaerobic digestion of sludge, we also produced biogas, which is used for combined heat and power generation to cover 100% of the thermal demand of the plant and almost 1/3 of electricity demand of the plant. Now, for large plants like Psyttalia, the revised Urban Wastewater Treatment Directive represented an important next step. It will expand the scope of wastewater management beyond conventional treatment toward a broader approach that includes energy efficiency, resource recovery, and new environmental performance objectives. From an operational perspective, this transition raises several interesting questions for utilities, for big utilities like us, which I will be happy to discuss during this panel. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ioannis. Then Tanya, please.
Good morning, everyone. So my name is Tanya Pentrova, and I'm leading the European Government Affairs of Xylem. Xylem is a global water technology company. We are developing and manufacturing the water technologies for basically the whole water cycle. So if you think of Xylem, you can think about manufacturing of water technologies for drinking water and wastewater treatment, for water transport. So of course, there are a lot of pumps. We have technologies for water reuse, clearly, of course, tertiary quaternary treatments and beyond. We also have technologies for industrial water, data centers, semiconductors, you name it, all types of industries, the energy sector, also for buildings. And we are also very big in terms of digitalization of the water system in Europe. So this is pretty much what Xylem does, and I'm looking forward to the exchange and discussion on this directive.
Thank you very much, Tanya. Alexandru, I saw that you joined. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Yes, perfect. So we're just making a short introduction. So you are Mr. Alexandru Avram, Secretary General at the Ministry of Environment, Water and Forest in Romania. And yeah, you have, I would say, 2 minutes if you want to just introduce yourself and present a bit your overview, and then we'll move to the first question.
My name is Alexandru Avram. As you have mentioned, I am the Secretary General of the Ministry of Environment, Waters and Forests. Right now, we are coordinating the NNRP, the National Resilience and Recovery Plan, within the Ministry of Environment, and we are having a component worth 500 million euros for the water management systems. And here we have 2 big investments that are related to our communes and small municipalities in order for them to have clean water and sewage services. We are going to finish by the 30th of June this year, and we do have to monitor and follow up on our mayors in order for them to finish their investment. And I can tell you that is the most tricky part in collaborating with them, but they are on track, and I think we're going to finish all of our indicators by the 30th of June. I would like to say hello to every participant, and I will have a colleague that is going to take my place at this intervention. Today is my birthday, and and I have to attend a small party that my colleagues have thrown for my. It's a surprise party. I didn't know about it, and I have to be downstairs. But my colleagues are going to be present.
So thank you very much. Best wishes, of course, from everyone. I think all the participants from the entire EWA as well. Yeah, no, we are looking forward to have the new colleagues joining us and taking your place. Enjoy it, but we are really glad to have you and someone from the ministry to take part in today's discussion. So after this short introduction, I think we'll go straight to the test and then ask you directly the first question for our speakers. I will start, Ioannis, with you. And I would say, in a way, a really open one and easy one. But
thank you, Arthur. Everybody.
Yeah, thank you, Alexander. Bye. What is the main challenge for you regarding the transposition of the Urban Wastewater Treatment Directive? Thanks. Yeah. So you muted, Ioannis? Sorry.
Okay, now?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay. From the perspective of a large metropolitan wastewater treatment plant such as Psyttalia, I think one of the most important challenges is the two, let's say, opposing forces that we have, the two major objectives that move in opposite directions. What do I mean? On the one hand, the directive requires large wastewater treatment plants to progressively move towards energy neutrality. We have to reduce the energy demands and consumption and reach neutrality. This means reducing energy consumption, improving the efficiency of most of the processes, and maximizing the recovery of energy in the wastewater and sludge. But on the other hand, the directive also introduces new requirements that are likely to increase the demand, particularly the future implementation of treatment of micropollutants. So the real implementation challenge here is not simply the compliance with one new obligation. It's how to redesign and optimize the whole system in order to absorb this additional treatment burden without increasing the overall energy footprint. For plants like Psyttalia, this is especially important because we are dealing with very large and continuously operating infrastructure. These plants cannot pause. They cannot compromise treatment reliability. Any transition must therefore be carefully phased and has to be robust. Of course, here at Psyttalia, we're not starting from zero, from scratch. We already recover energy through anaerobic digestion and the use of biogas in combined heat and power units. And we are already examining the next steps for improving energy efficiency and resource recovery. At the same time, our long-term upgrade strategy is looking at the changes that will be needed to meet the future requirements of the directive. In that sense, the challenge is not whether the objectives of the directive are correct. They are correct. We should move, of course, forward. The challenge is how to implement them in a way that is technically realistic, operationally reliable, and economically sustainable for large existing plants. For me, this is one of the most interesting and important questions raised by the recast of the directive. How utilities can introduce more advanced treatment while at the same time moving towards lower net energy consumption and lower environmental impact.
Thank you very much, Ioannis.
Yes. Welcome.
Then we will continue the discussion, of course, further, but then I would like to hear Csabá's and also same question. So in your opinion, most challenges for the implementation of the text?
I fully agree with Ioannis that quaternary treatment is a real challenge for wastewater plant operators. Of course, it looks in a different way in Athens. They have a few million population equivalent of load, but also in smaller cities, Târgu Mureș will have to apply for quaternary treatment because the size of the plant is bigger than 150,000. And of course, and additionally, we are discharging our treated water, our effluent, in a river, sorry, which is the raw water source for our other water treatment facilities. So in this way, I see a quite big challenge given by a few reasons. The first one, what I see, is the space. Our wastewater treatment plants are very close to the cities, usually. Of course, Athens wastewater treatment plant is in an island. They have islands. But maybe they will have to extend to put quaternary treatment equipments and treatment steps in that plant. Also, in a smaller wastewater treatment plant, the space is a very important issue. You usually don't have enough space. The other one is there are quite limited technical solutions for quaternary treatment. Maybe Tanya will tell us, because they are an expert on this field also. I saw a presentation, I make a bracket. I saw a presentation a few years ago from the Xylem representative regarding the quaternary treatment. It was very interesting. Maybe you should mention it. And as Ioannis said, we are in a contradictory position, quaternary treatment with the energy neutrality. Quaternary treatment requires not just extra space in your wastewater treatment plant, but also the energy costs are quite significant. Here I can see the biggest challenges regarding the quaternary treatment, which is linked, of course, to the energy neutrality, which of course wastewater treatment plants are producing different kind of energies. Also in smaller wastewater treatment plants where anaerobic digestion is implemented, we are producing biogas and of course electrical and thermal energy by cogeneration. But the tricky part is that just from your own sludge, you are not able to produce as much biogas to cover all the need of your plant. It means that you will need some extra organic wastes which can be co-digested with your sludge which is produced. But here we are in a competition with those companies who has nothing to do with wastewater treatment. They are energy producers, and we will compete with them to have the organic matter in order to boost our biogas production. So it's hopefully by developing energy sources in the plant, we will be able to implement gradually also the quaternary treatment, and problem will be solved. Yes, something like this, mainly.
Thank you very much. Now, I think then for Alexandru's and colleague, which I forgot to ask the name, so I'm sorry. So if you're there, can you please unmute yourself? see, or otherwise we wait for you. And Tanya, then we ask you maybe, so what challenges you see from the Urban Wastewater Treatment Directive transposition on the market and with your customers?
Thanks. So from our perspective, it was very useful, Ioannis and Sabo, to hear from your side, because this is exactly what we are hearing quite a lot. So I will certainly address a little bit of that topic. But maybe just to start with a bigger challenge that we are seeing, and actually it's very good to have these exchanges and right now, is that we see, because the national governments right now, they're in charge of implementing this legislation. And what we see is actually a lot of resistance, not everywhere, but resistance from the government to meet with technology providers like us to discuss the possible solutions and options. So the utilities are not, they meet with us because, we have also, of course, commercial relations as well. So it's not the utilities, but where we see that the governments are struggling how to meet exactly, how to put in the law, the energy neutrality and quaternary treatment, how to meet other requirements, stormwater overflows. But many of those, they say, well, we don't want to meet with you because you're a private actor. And so this is one of the maybe messages to this group here and the participants, that those governments who have engaged with us, together with the utilities and with other providers of technologies, not about Xylem only, there are many. Actually, they found it super useful because we can present best case studies from across Europe of what works, what doesn't work, what approaches, what technology can bring right now, what is state of the art, how you can approach things differently through some innovation or other ways, how you can do some different types of investments. So it's one message I wanted to pass, so that actually having these exchanges together is only going to help us to implement this legislation, and everything that you see in the revised Urban Wastewater Treatment Directive, everything is possible. So we, from a technology point of view, don't see anything that is not possible to implement. Of course, there will be discussions if it's going to be a very big plant or smaller plant, where it's located. Of course, there's the engineering part of it, but overall, it's all possible to implement. And so, just to address this challenge that was raised here about energy neutrality versus quaternary treatment and how to manage this, we don't see it as, from technology point of view, as a challenge. What we really advise utilities is to invest in energy efficiency. So you start with optimizing the energy efficiency, because anyway, there's the targets for quaternary energy neutrality are for later. Of course, you need to start planning the investments already now, but really investing in energy efficiency. And for example, energy efficiency of pumping stations, which are part of the whole calculation as well, those could be massive in terms of cutting the energy use of the whole network. So this counts towards the wastewater treatment plants, of course, energy use. And if you, for example, place intelligent pumps, one intelligent pump can cut 60% less, uses 50-60% less energy than a current state-of-the-art pumps. Of course, all of the equipment is very old in all the plants because legislation was adopted 30 years ago, and now is the time to refurbish. So we really recommend optimizing that energy efficiency in pumping stations, of course, pumps across the site, but also aeration blowers. These are huge. This can give huge benefits, again, savings of 20-30% of energy from changing aerations or different blower systems. So if you make that whole calculation between intelligent pumps of 50-60% cutting the energy use, plus others 20-30-40-50% other equipment that can cut it, then you come to a very good calculation on your wastewater treatment plant already from those investments. And after that, of course, there will be the part of generating energy, which could be biogas, but it could be a different solar, wind, whatever else. There will be the space issue, but then the percentage to generate energy will be so much smaller, and it would not be all the plants anyway, because the energy neutrality target is at national level. It's not at the plant level. Of course, the bigger plants will carry the responsibility most likely. So I think the responsibility will be spread. So this is how we address it with quaternary treatment. We have ozone. Of course, we use other combined solutions as well. But from our point of view, we don't see it as a conflict. Is actually looking at a different perspective.
Yeah, Thank you. Then Csaba, please. I see you as your hand.
Thank you very much, Tanya. I would like to have a small intervention. Energy efficiency, it's nothing new in wastewater treatment plant operation. And it's not a kind of habit or a hobby. This is a question of surviving because public utilities works in a market which is not selected by them. We have to deliver to all the settlements drinking water, and we have to treat the wastewater. Our tariffs are under control by a central agency which follows that what we are practicing in quality and price has to be according to the law. So I agree with you. There are different technical solutions, and we have to step to the next level in the energy efficiency field. But what I wanted to mention that we are not starting from the zero. We have to add something new, something new to the existing system. Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much. So Alexandru, colleague, are you there? We'll try again. Otherwise, we will take one of the first questions from the chat already, as long as we are talking about, let's say, the main challenges. And I think you both raised the first, or I would say the same topic on quaternary treatment and energy neutrality. So I will take it from the Q&A. First question was actually for you, Ioannis, from Viola Somogi from University of Pannonia. How much do you think the quaternary treatment increase in energy demand? Can we cover it from biogas from AE? And otherwise, I would also add something after your intervention, then you're on this. You're muted, sorry.
Okay, I'm sorry. The exact increase depends very much on the technology that will be selected. For example, ozonation, activated carbon or membrane-based solution. But in general, quaternary treatment can increase the total energy demand of wastewater treatment plant by roughly 10 to 30%. Tanya, please correct me if I'm wrong. If you want to say something about this, because we are the technology provider, but this is what consultants now say to us. For large plants like Psyttalia, this is a significant increase because biological treatment and aeration are already energy-intensive processes. Now, regarding biogas, anaerobic digestion already provides an important part of the plant's energy through combined heat and power. However, in most cases, it will probably not be sufficient, as Csaba already said, to its own to fully offset the additional demand of this additional treatment. Therefore, achieving energy neutrality will likely require a combination of measures, improving energy efficiency, maximizing biogas utilization and production, and integrating additional renewable energy sources where possible. But I would like also to Tanya to speak about that. What the technology provider says about this. What is this percentage? Am I right when I speak from that it is from 10 to 30%?
So what I can tell from EWA side, so I mentioned earlier some of the activities we have actually a internal working group for the members on some of the topics from the Urban Wastewater Treatment Directive. One is on energy neutrality, one is on quaternary treatment. What we have from a Czech colleague that supervised a bachelor thesis, actually, that had a look at quaternary treatment plants and energy consumption on or currently or in place plants in Switzerland, Germany, and I forgot the third country. I'm sorry. They depending on the technology used, they found that they could target between 3 to 16% of the plant's global energy use that was actually going toward quaternary. So if everything is nicely set up, depending also on the type of treatment you do, technology, how is your water quality and everything, So yeah, so 3% lowest one, and the highest one they were I think 15-16% of energy neutrality, of energy consumption. Sorry, and I think as Tanya mentioned, then energy neutrality is of course at the national level with a longer deadline, so you don't need to have a plan that will of course like by next week I would say like 100% energy efficient. But that's what I can tell you about the information I have based on our current working group on it.
Maybe I can just add, as Ioannis and some I think both of you raised. So I will need to come back to you with more specific numbers because I don't think it's so general. Between 20 and 30 maybe it's for one plant, maybe it's 50% for another plant. It really depends on what technology you start, what you need to optimize. And I agree with you, Saber, you're totally not starting from scratch. But what we see, a lot of the equipment is very old, 20, 30 years old. So this is where I think they putting a lot more intelligent products, a lot advanced products. This is where the change would be. So I will make sure to come back to both of you with some more estimations, but I don't think we can be so that generic, but probably it's a lot higher, could be a lot higher depending on the plant. So there's that. But the other, what we are also now working on, because some of the engagement we had across the countries, and what is of interest is also what kind of, how much actually we can save from optimizing the pumping station. So the energy efficiency of purely the pumping station. So not the whole plant, but if we look at the pumping station, we will produce, certain paper later in March that I can share with you. But this will be also quite some numbers that you can play with. But I'll be happy to follow up with both of you because we have all these numbers. But then again, it will be really depending on the size, on the equipment. So I'll make sure to follow up.
It will be very interesting.
Saba, I think you raised your hand. Do you want to add something?
Yes. I think to evaluate how much supplementary energy you will need after implementing the quaternary treatment, it depends where are you in this moment. Because that's why also the directive says, I cannot recall the exact figure, we have to do those audits. For big plants, as I remember well, is 28. 28, it will be after 2 years. We have to know, we have to have a diagnosis to see where our plant is and which is the direction we have to go, because there are many things which can be done. The competition regarding energy efficient equipments is very high, so we expect that those pumps and mechanical units, we are electrical energy consumers, we installed in our latest development projects 10 years ago, we can replace them with those new equipments which has higher energy efficiency. So I think we have to know very well what the situation is at every wastewater treatment plant where quaternary treatment has to be implemented. And after that, we will see also the direction and the costs. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Tanya, I think you're good, or you want to?
I'm good for now. Okay. Again, but certainly other points I can raise as the discussion continues.
Yeah, sure. No, so thank you very much. I think, as someone also mentioned it after, it's of course, quaternary energy cost depend also on which type of quaternary treatment you are implementing, and as Chab was saying, also the location and everything. So there is a couple of factors. Therefore, with this factor, I will be happy to share with you guys also just a number from the Czech colleague. I think I received a master bachelor thesis, so as I have everything, so you can also have a look at it. So actually, Chaba, I think you already touched a bit what I wanted to ask you next. Regarding, exactly, I think something linked to it and to what you mentioned, not really the quaternary treatment part implementation, but more towards energy neutrality. So you mentioned, so there will be audits that will need to be conducted at the plant level. And I think as you Chaba, or you, Ioannis, as a utilities provider, do you already know who is going to do it? How does it look like? Or are you just like at the, let's say, discussional level at the moment, or not really, and it's still a bit foggy? So how is it for you, I would say, on the ground towards this?
Arthur, that's a very good question, because we are discussing, let's do it something, but who will do it? In this moment, maybe if there is somebody from the central authority from Romania can help me out. In this moment, I cannot see who will be doing it in Romania. Because there is an agency which is busy with all kind of audits in the industrial field. We are not discussing about houses, how isolated it is, and so on. There are entities who are making audits for different industries, but I don't have any information if they have experts who can make an energy audit in a wastewater treatment plant, which is, of course, is different comparing with a brewery or anything else in the industry. And this is why the Romanian Water Association tries to make a connection with the Ministry of Energy in Romania to see how will be prepared those teams who will be busy to make the energy audits at first time for the bigger wastewater treatment plants. And we estimate that there will be more than 30 wastewater treatment plants above the stated level. I mean, those 100,050 population equivalent, which have to make the audit until 2020. So I think this issue is under preparation, but I not exclude, because we are at the same table, all of us, we are in the United Europe, and maybe there will be experts. And the question is, what kind of technique will be used? I saw there was a kind of research project under which there was developed a technique, a method, how to evaluate energy efficiency. Maybe that will be, or something else, but in my opinion, it should be something which will be applied in the same way in Czech Republic and Romania, in Germany and Italy, because otherwise we will not have a unitary picture. But as a conclusion, in Romania, in this moment, I have no information that there is an entity who can make a proper energy audit for wastewater treatment plants.
Thank you very much, Shaba. Ioannis, maybe quickly about the situation for you in Greece? Still muted.
Now, at this stage, as far as I know, the detailed framework for the wastewater treatment plant audits in Greece is still under development, of course. But we already have energy audits. They have come 2 times here in Psyttalia. They come every 3, I think, or 4 years, and we have to achieve the goals, the targets that they set. Now in Psyttalia, with a base year of 2019, we have improved. We have lowered the energy consumption by almost 35%. Through, of course, improvements, updating our pumping stations, putting into operation a second hydrolysis plant, by improving the efficiency of the sludge drying system. Now, in general, these audits are expected to be organized at the national level under the responsibility of the authorities. from the utility perspective, what is particularly, I think, important is that the audits do not evaluate the compliance with the effluent standards, but also assess the operational performance of the whole treatment process. For large plants like Psytalia, the biological process is the core of treatment performance and energy consumption. Therefore, evaluating parameters such as process stability, nutrient removal efficiency, and energy use will be essential elements of any meaningful audit framework, I think.
Thank you. Yes, Csaba, and then I have a follow-up questions for you, Ioannis.
No. I just wanted to add something. Why is very important to be technicians from wastewater treatment field involved in the audit? Because you can say, just as an example, I can replace all the screens, which has a total power need of 0.1%, and I will earn half of their energy. It depends, those money you invest in energy efficiency, how much kilowatt hours of energy will save for you. That's why it means nothing to do an audit which says that you can cover 30% of your energy need, but what you are doing now, that's a figure which can be found also by my grandson. So you need somebody who will tell you, okay, the best way is to touch this step of the treatment, or you have to apply to boost your fermentation process, or to install solar panels. And here I think it's very important, Tanya mentioned, to be close to those who are selling technologies and equipments. We cannot know what is on the market and which direction is proper for us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Csaba. Tanya, you raise your hand.
Just to say very quickly that I totally agree with Csaba and Ioannis. And indeed, on the energy audits, this is exactly the point, that if you have a generic energy audit, it makes no sense. So fully agree where the added value could be. The other part I wanted to mention is that the European Commission is working on a European methodology on how to assess energy neutrality and greenhouse gas emissions from wastewater treatment plants as part of this directive. And the European Water Association is very involved in this work. So for both of you, Ioannis and Csaba, I think probably in a year and a half, I don't remember the final timeline, there will be a methodology from Europe, which will make this is the only way we can measure between countries, between plants, how to measure energy neutrality and greenhouse gas emissions. And I saw a question in the chat about the issue of if you become energy. We know that Denmark has energy positive plants already. So this is a very good case studies. And the issue that where if you become more energy positive, maybe have more greenhouse gas emissions. We have experience with that. We'll be happy to, of course, share some cases. So happy to follow up with the person that asked the questions as well.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah, Chair, I just wanted to tell you, so at the moment, of course, there is a couple of implementing and delegating acts that are under discussion from the Commission side that will come and provide precision on how to implement some part of the text. And one of it is actually, as you mentioned, Tanya, about energy consumption or the energy audit in a way, and also greenhouse gas emission. EWA is an observer in the subgroup from the expert group from the Commission working on it. We could provide deadline to some preliminary report on how to do it by early January this year. For energy neutrality, I think we shared a couple of best practices and template from our techniques to calculate it from our members, and also toward greenhouse gas emission. So we know, for example, our French national member ASTE, they have a guidelines on if you don't have anything to calculate your greenhouse gas emission at the plant level, they have some guidelines how can you start and where to start and what to take into account. So if you're interested, we'll be more than happy to put you in touch with people and to share it with you. I had one question. So you already took one that I wanted to take, Tanya, so about Denmark and the energy positive plans, but then maybe Ioannis, one was directly for you. And really simply, I would say yes, no type of thing before we start to move to the second part of the discussion. So could Italia wastewater treatment plant realistically become energy neutral or positive with the new requirements that you have? And if yes, what technology or operational change would be required to reach that target?
Mm-hmm. Okay, this is not it's a very good question, not an easy answer. I will say something now to you. At Psytalia, we are currently in the preparation phase of the next upgrade program, which will cost 500 million euros, 350, between 350 and 5 million. It's a huge upgrade program. So it is very difficult to tell you what technologies we will use. You have to think that in this context, some technical studies and tender documentations are being now developed, and we have proposed them to the board to decide for them, and for a public tender of about 9 million euros that will evaluate all the different options for future upgrades. Regarding advanced treatment, energy optimization, sludge management, reuse of reclaimed water. So I'm not right now able to answer this before I see this. I have these studies in my hand. It's a very difficult question, but in 2 or 3 years we will have the answer. We will pay a lot to have this answer.
Yeah, but you already know then more or less when you will get the answer, which is already good.
Yes.
Okay, so thank you very much. I think for the discussion, I think we can summarize. So a couple of questions, of course, quaternary treatment and energy neutrality for those it goes into hands. I think with what I just shared, also figures from our Czech colleague, like 3 to 16% of energy consumption more could be doable. We didn't touch upon some point that Csaba mentioned about the space, but Ioannis, you might have the same, of course. And yes. You will not be the only one, so I'm not even going to start now because we will still be talking tomorrow morning about it. But yeah, the first question was more for you than main challenges. So I will say, let's move toward potentially a bit more an optimistic view, and what will be for you, then Csaba, like the main opportunities that you see into the implementation, maybe something you wanted to do and to tackle for a while, and that now you have the right timing. Yeah, so main opportunities that you see for you, and then we'll ask you, Ioannis, the same questions.
Speaking about the main opportunity, I think for us, the main opportunity by implementing this directive is to have cleaner water sources, because, as I mentioned, all of our water treatment works are using as raw water the surface raw water, which is the river where we discharge the effluent. So in this way, hopefully we will have a simpler operation in our water treatment works, and also not so costly treatment. This cleaner environment will be achieved. Cleaner rivers will be achieved not just by the quaternary treatment, because there are also other aspects which are linked to the new directive, such as secondary treatment for small wastewater treatment plants. In Romania, there are small wastewater treatment plants which are not in our operations yet, and they are not performing for different reasons. So if the directive extends the limit to those treatment plants, we will have the opportunity to refurbish them and to make it to work properly. The reinforced nutrient limits will also help. And of course, we didn't mention the storm water management. Ioannis has not very often rain in Athens, but here we do. And our combined sewage system, which is in the central part of the big cities, makes that when there is a rainfall, we are discharging. We haven't estimated yet because we don't have measurements on the sewer overflows. But what we estimated on the bypass of the wastewater treatment plant exceeds the 2% limit, which is stated in the new directive. If we add also the water which is discharged by the combined sewer overflows, for sure we will have a lot of work to do, but we will reduce also the pollution. I think those would be the main opportunities. And who is the guy who doesn't want to live in a clean environment and have a clean water? So here I see the main opportunities, and to solve those operational problems we are facing with in this moment. Roughly that would be.
Thank you very much. And what about you then, Ioannis?
Okay, now regarding the opportunities, I see, generally speaking, I see a very important opportunity in the transition of wastewater treatment plants from traditional treatment facilities to energy, generally speaking, resource recovery hubs. This is a transition. Large plants like Psyttalia already recover energy through anaerobic digestion and biogas utilization. Now, the revised, the recast of the directive pushes forward to improve energy efficiency, to maximize energy recovery from sludge, and exploring additional resource recovery options such as nutrient recovery, phosphorus, or the reuse of reclaimed water. In this sense, the directive can accelerate the transformation of wastewater treatment plants into infrastructure that not only protects the environment but also contributes to energy production and the circular economy. And this is a very big opportunity for us.
Thank you very much. And Tanya, then for you more like, so do you see scope for innovative solution or approaches to be part of the Urban Wastewater Treatment Directive implementation?
For sure, and I think I agree here with the colleagues that indeed this is the biggest opportunity to actually, advance our systems. They're 30 years old, or it depends, in any case when they've been built. So opportunity for placing the latest solutions, but also placing some innovation. And one of the areas of innovation is digital. I mean, digital is already on the market, but is not very much adopted everywhere. So there's quite a big room for adopting digitalization in the water sector broadly across Europe, and wastewater is one of those that's going to be very beneficial. And digital is much more cost effective. So if you can manage certain areas, like tracking your energy performance, your generation of energy, your energy efficiency, your treatment loads, through greenhouse emissions, leakages, stormwater. So if you can manage everything with systems that are managing everything at the same time, digitally, it's much cheaper than actually investing in civil works. So digital is not the solution for everything, but it's like the overarching umbrella where you can add on and cut some costs, but also have super big benefit on the treatment side, on the energy neutrality, but also on stormwater management, because you can have predictive modeling with digital models, digital twins, and then actually you can optimize your infrastructure already. So this can help with the 2% target and the particular article on urban stormwater management. The other part where we see innovation, I mean, there are many innovative products. For example, we have something that is a solution for tertiary treatment. So it removes nitrogen and phosphorus, but when there is a storm, actually it serves as a stormwater reservoir. So you can have these multiple options to serve multiple purposes. But the other part where we believe it's also about smart investments, that this is an opportunity for the wastewater treatment plants in the sector to go forward from heavy infrastructure works. I mean, nature-based solutions were mentioned as well quite a few times in the chat, which is an excellent solution to support stormwater overflows, flooding, but for many other things. So think not only gray infrastructure, but also nature-based solutions. But we also would like to see in the future different models. For example, moving from CapEx to OpEx. Something that Xylem is looking into is the so-called performance-based contracts, whereby we will own the asset. So, for example, if we talk about pumps, let's say, take an example of pumps, but it could be quaternary treatment, it could be different things. That we will own the pumps. We will be responsible for their energy efficiency optimization, for their maintenance, and actually what the wastewater treatment plant will pay per cubic meter of water moved. So it's a different model. So it's more on the OpEx side payment, but not on the heavy CapEx. So again, innovation is in many areas, in the product side, in digitalization, but also in innovative financing models that technology providers can also support with.
Thank you very much. And then I will, in a way, cross some of the points that Csaba and Ioannis then mentioned, because in Csaba you had a bit part of stormwater management. So maybe Ioannis, for you, much bigger plants, do you see problem opportunities there, or let's say business as usual for you? Can you add something?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand the question.
So Csaba mentioned a bit opportunities with the new text about how to deal with stormwater overflow and so on. Is it something for you that you look at into the new text, or do you already consider how we do it and we are fine?
No, of course, the environmental permits that we have here in Psyttalia allows us to have a small amount of storm water coming into our plant and then bypass the biological treatment and undergoes only primary treatment and goes into the outfall pipe in the receiving waters. But I think this is mainly concern for the network, not for the wastewater treatment plants. And as far as I know, here in EWA, they now doing studies on how to deal with this with CSOs. Okay. Yes.
Thank you very much. And then you mentioned, Ioannis, and something also on tertiary treatment and phosphorus nitrogen recoveries. And then I will raise the question to Csaba. Can you tell us a bit more, how do you do it? How do you see it? Because we also had a question in the chat, actually for you, Csaba, on this. So, do you think small treatment plant in cold winter can remove the nutrients as they are required to?
Tertiary treatment, yes, that's a very important part of the process and depends on the temperature. Ioannis has any issue with that, because in Athens we don't have wastewater with 8 degrees temperature, but it happens in our region, especially in small wastewater treatment facilities, to have very cold water. For this, we have to fulfill the annually average value, and it means that the authorities are taking 1 year data and they check if is under or above the limit. regarding one of the nutrients, phosphorus is a quite tricky issue because you would prefer to eliminate it by biology, which is possible just in the situation when you have enough volume for your treatment, which requires a space. Of course, chemical treatment on long term increases your operational costs, but maybe because the situation you have in your wastewater treatment plant, you cannot apply for the biology. So I think for every treatment plant has to be elaborated the proper treatment technology, and it has to be chosen according to the specific situation what is in that plant.
Thank you very much. So we are slowly reaching the end of the webinar. So I would like first of all to thank you all, but I would also like to give each of you one last time the floor for, let's say, open closing from your side, and or if you wanna maybe tackle the topics that we either did not talk about or some of the questions, because we still have some couple of questions that we cannot take all of them, but yeah, either like could be decentralized system considered to talk. Are decentralized system considered to tackle the issue of space and promote water reuse? Or as you mentioned, Tanya, we had a couple on inputs on nature-based solution. We had our colleagues from Denmark about more greenhouse gas emission and when the plants are energy positive, actually, and so on. So yeah, so just an open floor, maybe 1 minute each. Does one of you want to start first, or otherwise Csaba? Then let's go. We got Csaba, Ioannis, and then we close with Tanya.
I thank you again, Arthur, that because you invited me to this seminar, and I could saw from the number of participants that there is an interest for this topic. Here at the end, I have nothing else to do than good. I wish good health for everybody, and energy to implement all those things which are waiting for us in the near future. I'm sorry that the Romanian authorities couldn't join this meeting, because I think we are in the same boat, and they are a very heavy task here at the beginning. They have to develop all the local rules, and they have to find out the money which are necessary for investment and a financial scheme somehow to cover also the operational costs. So, but maybe next time they can come, and thank you very much again. Nothing else to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Csaba. Thank you for being here today. So, Ioannis, please.
Okay. I would like to thank everyone for their attention, and I can see that many people participate this webinar. From my perspective, I think that the revised directive marks a very important evolution for wastewater treatment plant sector, because they are no longer seen only as facilities that remove that clean the wastewater and remove pollution. They are increasingly part of a broader environmental and energy system. For very large plants like Italia, the challenge is quite clear. We will need to achieve higher environmental performance, better nutrient removal, control of micropollutants, improved stormwater management, while at the same time moving toward energy neutrality. This is not a simple thing. But what I see more is a real opportunity here. The wastewater treatment plants can become resource recovery hubs, producing renewable energy, recovering nutrients, and supporting the overall the circular economy. And I agree totally agree with Xaba that the key will be cooperation between utilities, regulators, but also researchers and technology providers, of course, like Xylem, so that the implementation of the directive is both ambitious and realistic. I think that if we work together, this transition can significantly strengthen the sustainability and resilience of Europe's urban water systems.
Thank you.
So thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ioannis, fully agree. So I don't add much more. Tanya, please.
Now, I would also like to thank Arthur and the European Water Association and Ioannis and Xaba for your really interesting and fruitful exchanges and discussions and sharing actually where all of us see that there are different points we need to work on together. So I can not only endorse even more this joint collaboration, which we need to forge a lot more for this directive and beyond. But maybe as a last point, we are very conscious that this directive will have very high investment costs. It requires high investment costs from the utilities. And we are very strong advocate as Xylem here in Brussels about funding EU funds for water, because now we are discussing the next budgetary framework of the European Union for 2028-2034. And we are strongly advocating that there should be a lot more funds allocated to water in the future. We will have many challenges beyond this directive, but also to support the utilities, municipalities with the implementation of this legislation, because the European Union has been a very heavy supporter for the energy transition. All the windmills, the solar, the renewable energy we have is because the EU put a lot of funds upfront to support this transition. And we are very strong advocate to actually Europe to support also the water transition, the wastewater directive, but there's drinking water, there are many more and the challenges. So I just wanted to end on that note that we're in this together and we can work on solutions, but we also need support from Europe and hopefully that will be the case once the next EU budget is adopted. So thank you so much, everyone as well.
So thank you very much, everyone, for joining us today. And I think also for presenting a bit what's happening on the field, what are the feedback from water utilities from different profiles. So one of the biggest one with you, Ioannis, in Europe, and a bit smaller one, and rural area, Xaba. And to see, and I really like this call for cooperation. I think it's also highlights or heavy embedded into EWA with our different members that we all like to bring all together like today is to discuss and exchange with it about certain topics. So thank you very much. I have few slides for everyone. So again, thank you very much. You will find a recording of today's discussions online in our EWA YouTube channel in the upcoming days. Our next big event for us, I think some of you might be there, will be IFAT in Munich, which is the world's leading trade fair for environmental technology, and they have a huge part on water. So you can use the EWA code to secure your free tickets. Here is the program, what we're going to do. So you see we'll have a high-level dialogue on a water sector. We'll talk about desalination, water reuse, AI and its opportunity for the water sector. We'll have some symposium on stormwater management, resource recovery, quaternary treatment, also some topics that we also discussed today. So we see it's again high on the agenda. If you want to be informed of upcoming events, so you have our website, YouTube channel, LinkedIn, you can our newsletter, you can subscribe. And otherwise, when you would close today's session, you will have a quick survey. So please provide your feedback. It takes 2 seconds and you can help us to be better. But once again, a big thank you to Ioannis, Tanya, Xaba for joining us today for the really interesting discussion from my side. I'm sure we couldn't take all the questions, but keen to keep again the loop and the channel open between all of us. And if you have any questions sometimes that you have from your side, do not hesitate to contact us. And we'll see how we can pass your message or if you look for input from other member states. So once again, thank you everyone. Thank you Xylem for sponsoring it, making it for free for the participants today. And we hope that everyone learned a bit today and it was great discussions. Once again, thank you. Have a good day with this 2 to 3 minutes delay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.